So let's welcome Maharaj in ISKCON Dwarka by chanting Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. And also along with Maharaj, Maharaj is assisted by His Grace Anantakeshwar Prabhu. Such a wonderful nectarian kirtan, Guru Puja by Prabhuji. So let's welcome His Grace Anantakeshwar Prabhuji by chanting Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Shri Prabhupada ki jai. So we are fortunate that today's katha is going to be on Advait Acharya, and we are going to listen about Advait Acharya from His Holiness Bhakti Ratnakar Ambarish Swami Maharaj. So Maharaj, we are so very glad, Maharaj, that you have come to ISKCON Dwarka. Thank you so very much. Haribo!
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Janavadava Girivardhari Gopi Janavadava Girivardhari Yashoda Nandana Brajajana Ranjana Yashoda Nandana Brajajana Ranjana Yamuna Dhira Vanajani Yamuna Thira Vanajani Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Nidagor Hariva, 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 Nidagor Hariva. Jai Jai Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada. Shri Advaita Acharya Avirbhavatiti ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. All glories to the assembled devotees. How many of you can understand English without translation? 50%. What about others? How they will hear? Or somebody can translate? Backside. You can announce. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So we will read from Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Lila, chapter 6, the glories of Advaita Acharya. Chapter 6, beginning from the verse 23. Narayanam stvam nahi sarvadehinam Narayanastvam nahi sarvadehinam Atmasya dhisha kila loka sakshi Atmasya dhisha kila loka sakshi Narayanangam narabhujalayanat Narayanangam narabhujalayanat Tachapi satyam natatvaiva mayam Tachapi satyam natatvaiva mayam. Please chant. Narayanastvam nahi sarvadehinam Masyadhisha kila loka sakshi Narayanam Satyam Narayanastvam nahi sarvadehinam Sakshi Namam Bhujalayana Chavisatyam Nataveva Maya Astam Nahi Sarvadeham Atmasya Kila Loka Sakshi Ranangam Narabhujalayana Satyam Nataveva Maya Ayanastvam Nahi Sarvadehinam Vasati Shakila Loka Sakshi Bhujalayanat Sabisatyam Word by word. Narayanaha, Lord Narayan, Tvam, you, Na, not, He, certainly, Sarva, all, Dehinam, all the embodied beings, Atma, the super soul, Asi, you are, Adhisha, O Lord, Akhila Loka, of all the worlds, Sakshi, the witness, Narayanaha, known as Narayan, Angam, plenary portion, Nara, of Nara, Bhu, born, Jala, in the water, Ayanat, due to the place of refuge, Tat, that, Cha, and, Api, certainly, Satyam, highest truth, Na, not, Tava, your, Eva, at all, Maya, the illusory energy. O Lord of Lords, you are the seer of all creation. You are indeed everyone's dearest life. Are you not therefore my father Narayan? Narayan refers to one whose abode is in the water born from Nara, Garbhodakashaya Vishnu. And that Narayan is your plenary portion. All your plenary portions are transcendental. They are absolute and are not creations of Maya. This text is from Srimad Bhagavatam, 10 Canto, chapter 14, verse 14. Next. Ishvarera anga amsa chidananda maya mayara sambandana hi eshlokikaya. This verse describes that the limbs and plenary portions of the Lord are all spiritual. They have no relationship with the material energy. Next. Amshana kahiya kene kahatanre anga amshahaite angayate haya antaranga. Why has Sri Advaita been called a limb and not a part? The reason is that limb implies great intimacy. Next. Mahavishnuramsha Advaita Gunadhama Ishvarera Bhedateni Advaita Purnanama. Sri Advaita, who is a reservoir of virtues, is the main limb of Mahavishnu. His full name is Advaita, for he is identical in all respects with that Lord. Purviyai Kaila Sarva Vishvara Srijana Avatari Kaila Ebe Bhakti Pravartana. As he had formerly created all the universes, now he descended to introduce the path of bhakti. Jivanistarila Krishna Bhakti Karidan Gita Bhagavate Kaila Bhakti Ravyakhyana. He delivered all living beings by offering the gift of Krishna Bhakti. He explains the Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam in the light of devotional service. Purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Although Sri Advaita Prabhu is an incarnation of Vishnu, for the welfare of the conditioned souls, he manifested himself as a servitor of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And throughout all his activities, he showed himself to be an eternal servitor. Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda also manifested the same example, same principle, although they also belong to the category of Vishnu. If Lord Chaitanya, Lord Nityananda and Advaita Prabhu had exhibited their all-powerful Vishnu potencies within this material world, people would have become greater impersonalists, monists and self-worshippers than they had already become under the spell of this age. Therefore, the personality of God and his different incarnations and forms played the parts of devotees to instruct the conditioned souls how to approach the transcendental stage of devotional service. Advaita Acharya especially intended to teach the conditioned souls about devotional service. The word Acharya means teacher. The special function of such a teacher is to make people Krishna conscious. A bona fide teacher, following in the footsteps of Advaita Acharya, has no other business than to spread the principles of Krishna consciousness all over the world. The real qualification of an Acharya is that he presents himself as a servant of the Supreme. Such a bona fide Acharya can never support the demoniac activities of atheistic men who present themselves as a god. It is the main business of an Acharya to defy such impostors posing as God before the innocent public. Om Jnana Timirandasya Gnanjana Salakaya Chakshurun Miritam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavam Sha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagna Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakanvitam Sha He Krishna Karuna Sindha Dinabandha Jagatpate Gopisha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sutta Devi Pranamami Hari Priya Vanchakalpa Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Vacha Patitanam Bhavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatyare Satarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So today is most auspicious day of appearance of Sri Advaita Acharya. He came to this world in 1433 AD, 590 years ago. So after 10 years we would celebrate 600th anniversary of appearance of Advaita Acharya. So he came to this world to spread Krishna consciousness, and he performed very special devotional service. He was worshipping Nrisimha Shalagram, and he was offering Ganga Jal and Tulsi Manjaris to his Shalagram, and he was praying very loudly. He was praying so loud that the sound of his prayers was penetrating the universe. Very loud voice. He was calling for the Lord to descend because he was seeing the condition of this world, how people became so fallen that no one can deliver them. So he was very eager for the Lord to descend. And in reply to his prayers, Lord Chaitanya came. But at the beginning, Advaita Acharya was not able to recognize the Lord. He had some doubt, is this my Lord or not? But then Lord Chaitanya manifested his supreme potency, and Advaita Acharya recognized that, yes, my Lord came. But because Advaita Acharya was much senior by age than Lord Chaitanya was always offering his respect to Advaita Acharya. It was intolerable for Advaita Acharya that he's offering respect, so he made a plan how to get rid of this respect. He started to preach Mayavad philosophy in a remote place. He started to give classes, and many impersonalists were coming to hear him, and they were very happy that now he proved our philosophy. Because he was very respected person, and now he is preaching Mayavad. So they were very happy. And the news spread all over, and it came to Lord Chaitanya that Advaita Acharya is preaching Mayavad philosophy. So Lord Chaitanya came to Lord Nityananda, and he said, "Did you heard the news that Advaita Acharya is preaching Mayavad philosophy?" And Lord Nityananda confirmed, "Yes, I have heard." We have to punish him. So they came to the place where Advaita Acharya was giving a class. They sat in the back, and Advaita Acharya was preaching, "Yes, you are God, and I am God, and everyone is God. And Lord Chaitanya became very angry. He took Advaita Acharya with his hair, yes, pushed him and started to kick him, and the wife of Advaita Acharya, she started to cry, "What are you doing? He is old person, he will die." But Advaita Acharya was very happy. Finally, my Lord recognized me. As his servant, he punished me. And he was dancing in ecstasy. Another famous pastime is when Lord Chaitanya took sannyas and he wanted to go to Vrindavan, and Lord Nityananda, he wanted to bring Lord Chaitanya to Shantipur, to the house of Advaita Acharya, so he told all the cowherd boys around that when the sannyasi will ask you direction to Vrindavan, you have to show to this way. So Lord Chaitanya was in complete ecstasy. He did not know where he is going. And at some point he came to external consciousness and he asked the boys, "Where is Vrindavan?" And they have shown him the way to Shantipur. So he continued his ecstatic travel, and finally he came to the bank of the Ganges and he saw Advaita Acharya. And he was amazed. "Advaita, how did you know that I am coming to Yamuna?" "How did you came to Vrindavan?" And Advaita said, "Wherever you are, there is Vrindavan." So you did not make a mistake. You came to Vrindavan, but it's special Vrindavan. Gupta Vrindavan. And he brought fresh loincloths for Lord Chaitanya, fresh copin, and Lord Chaitanya took bath in the Ganga and he dressed himself, and Advaita Acharya brought him to Shantipur and he prepared big feast for Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda. Up to this time there is a place where Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda was taking prasadam. There is a big tree there and small temple in this place near the house of Advaita Acharya. And Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is describing all the preparations that was cooked by Advaita Acharya and his wife. And Srila Prabhupada is saying in his purport that everyone should study these recipes that was cooked for the satisfaction of Lord Chaitanya and cook these preparations in his temple. So there's instruction of Srila Prabhupada to learn all these traditional preparations that was relished by Lord Chaitanya, that we would cook these preparations for his satisfactions. Not invent some new recipes, but cook whatever was relished by the Lord. Because we can have some different taste, like we can like pizza, but Lord Chaitanya has his own taste and he likes other preparations. And Srila Prabhupada was personally teaching his disciples how to cook traditional Bengali preparations for the satisfactions of the Lord. So Advaita Acharya was cooking all these wonderful preparations. And there was a fight between Advaita Acharya and Lord Nityananda. They were teasing each other with different names. And finally, Lord Nityananda has thrown the remnants of rice from his plate into Advaita Acharya, and Advaita Acharya started to dance, that I became purified by touching this Maha Prasad, and Srila Prabhupada is giving elaborate purport about the glories of Maha Prasad. So it's very auspicious when we are getting Maha Prasad. We are becoming purified by offering respect to Maha Prasad. Especially glorious is Jagannath Mahaprasad. When Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur was offered, anytime he was offered Jagannath Mahaprasad, he was paying full dandavats to Jagannath Mahaprasad. Then he was doing parikrama 3 times around Jagannath Mahaprasad, and then he was sitting down and he was with great respect, he was taking this Mahaprasad. So Mahaprasad is non-different from the Lord. And Advaita Acharya, every year he was celebrating the disappearance day of Madhavendra Puri. He was disciple of Madhavendra Puri. One time Madhavendra Puri came to Shantipur, and Advaita Acharya, with great respect, treated him as a most exalted person and accepted Diksha from him. And every year after disappearance of Madhavendra Puri, he was celebrating his disappearance day by cooking big feast. And for many generations, descendants of Advaita Acharya, they were also celebrating the disappearance days of Madhavendra Puri by cooking great feasts. But at some point, it became very difficult for them to do this, and they approached devotees in ISKCON Mayapur. Can you take up this preparation of big feasts? Can you sponsor this? And devotees, they took up this great service, and every year on Govinda Dvadashi, devotees are collecting funds for this feast, and also they are distributing prasadam, because there is a big blessings in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Yes, it said that if anyone doing the prasada seva on the day of Govinda Dvadashi in Shantipur, he is achieving ecstatic love of Godhead just by doing this seva. So thousands of devotees are coming on this day of Govinda Dvadashi to Shantipur to serve prasadam. It's difficult even to serve one time because there are a long queue of devotees. They are continuing this service that was done by Advaita Acharya up to this time. And Srila Prabhupada, at some point when he was not able to get the land in Mayapur, he was thinking to make a world headquarters in Shantipur, at the house of Advaita Acharya. He has an idea to establish centers there, and from Shantipur to preach all over the world. But by Lord Chaitanya's grace, he was able to get the land in Mayapur. He was sending different disciples to Mayapur to get the land, and nobody was able to make the deal. At some point he sent Tamal Krishna Maharaj. He sent Tamal Krishna Maharaj, because when something was impossible to do, he was sending Tamal Krishna Maharaj. Because he knew he will surrender completely. He will do that. So he sent Tamal Krishna Maharaj, and he told him, you should not come back without the paper signed. And Tamal Krishna Maharaj, he came back late at night. It was midnight. The paper was signed, and he saw that there is a light in Srila Prabhupada's room in Calcutta. It was in Calcutta. So he immediately went to Srila Prabhupada's room. He brought the paper, and Srila Prabhupada, the land is yours. And Srila Prabhupada was very happy. He was very happy. It was quite small piece of land where the hut is, Srila Prabhupada's hut, but then they bought another piece of land, another. Now it's a huge land. The temple is almost finished, maybe 1 year, and the temple will be finished. Your temple, what is the plan?
24th of May 2024. So we have 1 year, 3 months.
1 year, 3 months. It's Nrisimha Chaturdashi? Rukmini Dvadashi. Oh, Rukmini Dvadashi. 2 days before Nrisimha Chaturdashi, yes? Rukmini Dvadashi. So many temples are being built by Srila Prabhupada's grace. Krishna consciousness is spreading all over the world. Millions of books have been distributed last year. At least 3 million Bhagavad Gitas have been distributed for the marathon. And so many other books. Srila Prabhupada is so happy when the books are being distributed. So many people join. In Moscow, devotees organized second wave, yes, cultivating people who are buying the books, and other contacts are coming for them from devotees. For the last year, devotees, they contacted 3,000 people who gave their contacts, and 400 of them, they became devotees. So it's important to contact the people, because sometimes they are reading a little bit, they have some small interest, but when they are in contact, direct contact with devotees, they are becoming devotees very easily. So this is also important program to cultivate people who already has some small interest. They are not ready to come immediately, but after some time they join. There are many different preaching programs, so we have to use our intelligence to attract people to Krishna consciousness, to help them to become Krishna consciousness, because they need a lot of help at the beginning. We have to be available to help them. So today is very auspicious day, appearance day of Advaita Acharya. He was spreading the glories of the Lord. He was great preacher of Lord Chaitanya's movement. So on this auspicious day we can pray to Advaita Acharya to become empowered, to help this mission, and to become steady in our devotional service, because material energy is very strong. We can be easily diverted in this material world, but if we will get spiritual strength, it will be easy for us to overcome all the obstacles on our spiritual path. So on this auspicious day we can make some special prayer to Advaita Acharya. In this prayer which we are offering to Panchatattva in Mayapur, it is said that only by the mercy of Advaita Acharya we can the mercy of Gaur Nitai. It's not possible without his mercy to get the mercy of Gaur Nitai. So today is the day when we can try to get his mercy by doing special service for the satisfaction of Advaita Acharya. Hare Krishna. If anyone has any question or any suggestion, add some stories about Advaita Acharya.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, thank you very much for such an enlightening class, Maharaj. Maharaj, my question is that Advaita Acharya himself is Lord Vishnu, so he could himself have preached. So why he was calling Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu?
Why he was calling Lord Chaitanya? Because all the incarnation of the Lord, they are in the service mood. He knew that Lord Chaitanya has to appear. It was known for him, so he wanted to do this service, to call for the Lord to descend. Like Lord Balaram, always in the service mood to Lord Krishna. So Advaita Acharya always in the service mood to Lord Chaitanya. He wants to serve in all the capacities. When Lord Chaitanya was performing his pastimes in Jagannath Puri, Advaita Acharya also was visiting Jagannath Puri for 4 months. All the inhabitants of Navadvip, all the devotees of Lord Chaitanya, 8 months they were staying in Bengal, and 4 months during the rainy season they were staying in Puri to do some service for Lord Chaitanya. They were preparing lunch for Lord Chaitanya, inviting him to their houses. Advaita Acharya also was doing this. And when Lord Chaitanya was performing his pastimes in Indradyumna Sarovar, he was playing the role of Anantashesh. He was lying down on the water of Indradyumna Sarovar, and Lord Chaitanya was lying down on him, and they were playing on the water. He always in this mood of service. He wants to do everything for the satisfaction of Lord Chaitanya. That's why he was calling for Lord Chaitanya. He wanted to do this service for him.
Just like we have another incarnations like Bhagavan, Lord Kapil, Lord Rishabdev, they themselves taught philosophy. But Advaita Acharya is calling for Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. In that sense, I was asking that incarnations, they are independent to preach, like Lord Kapila. But Advaita Acharya is calling for Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Lord Kapila didn't call like that.
Yes, because he knew that it's time for him to come. And he did this service to call for him. It's also service. He knew that Lord is coming.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Lord Chaitanya is coming only once in the day of Brahma. So it was very important to do some service for him. Finished? Maybe somebody has a Sankirtan story from the marathon. Yes.
Hare Krishna. So there is a very beautiful pastime I heard from Maharaj some time back. Once, as we know that Lord Chaitanya used to have Harinam Sankirtan in Shiva's Angan. So there, because externally speaking, Lord Chaitanya is younger to Advaita Acharya. Advaita Acharya is senior in age. But he could see that, but he is Krishna, I am Mahavishnu, I am Sadashiv. So that's, he's my Lord, but he gives me so much of respect. So once after Harinam Sankirtan, Lord Chaitanya, as he was in ecstasy, so he became unconscious. So as Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu at that time, he became unconscious. So Advaita Acharya, he took the dust from the lotus feet of Lord Gauranga Mahaprabhu and smeared it on his head. So when Gauranga Mahaprabhu, when he came back to consciousness, he was again dancing, but he said, well, ecstasy is not coming. Again he started singing and dancing, but ecstasy is not coming. He said, somebody has robbed my wealth. Who is the one who has robbed my wealth? And then devotees can't say anything because the one who robbed the wealth is the senior most devotee there. How to tell that the one who has robbed, the robber is the senior most devotee here? But Lord Gauranga is asking, so we have to reply. So we should reply. But what to reply? That senior most devotee did the robbing. So they were very much perplexed. So because Advaita Acharya is also Lord, so that's why he could understand this perplexity among the devotees. So he said, I know who has robbed your wealth. And he came forward. He said, I have robbed your wealth. And then after saying this, Advaita Acharya ran away. And as Advaita Acharya ran away, Lord Gauranga Mahaprabhu also chased him. If Mahavishnu is going to run, who can catch him? But this time Krishna is chasing. So finally Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu jumped. And he jumped and then he caught hold of Sri Advaita Acharya. And then he put his lotus feet on his head. And then he said, yes, finally I have robbed the robber.
Krishna. Thank you, Maharaj, for such a nice lecture. Maharaj, question is that we see that Shachi Mata was not given by the Krishna Prem by Lord Chaitanya, and everyone was asking that why you are giving that Krishna Prem to everyone but not to Shachi Mata. So here we see that the elder brother Vishnu Ji actually, and they both were, she didn't said anything actually to Lord Advacharya. Only in her heart she had that because my both son actually went to Sanya, so she was unhappy. So can we think that such a mother, as a mother, she might have these thoughts, but still Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was not giving Krishna Prem. So Vaishnava Aparadha is so strong that even just when a mental thought, because she, as a mother she is thinking that, and she is not getting the Krishna Prem even with the Lord being her mother. So that's the question. It's so serious, matlab. I was just thinking, because just she is just thinking this, not she has never spoken like anything wrong. Lord Advacharya, you have done this, you have done that. Just she is thinking mentally that my boss and I don't like him. So, but just by this only not get Krishna Prem, just by this Leela.
Yes, at the beginning the thoughts are not taken into account, but when one is become exalted devotee, even his thoughts are taken into account. So it's important what we are thinking about. It may be punished also. So it's very important.
Exalted devotees, small offense also become bigger, it means like.
Become a serious matter when we are progressing and still in our mind something wrong, so it becomes punishable. I also heard that Advaita Acharya was the first who started to chant Lord Chaitanya's names. He did a Sankirtan of Lord Chaitanya's names in Gambhira. And Jagannath Das Babaji, he introduced this as a sadhana, chanting of the names of Lord Chaitanya. He said that now people became so fallen they cannot chant Hare Krishna mantra without offenses, so it's important for them before they chant Hare Krishna to chant the names of Lord Chaitanya. That's why we are chanting before Hare Krishna mantra, we are chanting Panchatattva Mahamantra. Some devotees, like Brigupati Prabhu, one of the senior book distributors, he is distributing Srila Prabhupada's books for 50 years. He is Srila Prabhupada's disciple. And still he is number 2 or 3 in America in book distribution up to this time. All day long, when he is going from person to person, he is chanting Panchatattva mantra for 6 hours every day. So he is chanting 16 rounds of Hare Krishna mantra in the morning, but in the daytime, when he is going from person to person, all day he is chanting Panchatattva mantra. In 2004, the Panchatattva was installed. Yes? And he was invited to come to Mayapur because he was a rare guest in Mayapur. Devotees decided to invite him, and he said, I am installing Panchatattva every day. Why I should come? But finally they insisted, and he came to Mayapur, and he was so happy to see big Panchatattva being installed. And he started to come almost every year to Mayapur. Before that, he was coming once in 20 years. So next year is 20th anniversary, yeah? 20th anniversary? Hare Krishna. Shri Advaita Acharya Avirbhav Mahotsav ki, Srila Prabhupada ki. All glories to the assembled devotees. Hare Krishna.